fingerprint. So sorry about that. Yeah, everything is in your fingerprint. Everything is digital. I mean, you look at big international companies like Google who have laid off 12,000 people thanks to the fact that they have gone even higher on their digital landscape. So if you're trying to progress your business, you have your idea, or you're just trying to progress your professional life, the one thing that you should focus to do right now is just maybe even just like for 10 minutes every day, try to research what's happening in the digital world. What are the new technologies out there, and how can you use them to facilitate your personal growth? For example, maybe you run a small business, you're thinking about how you can digitize it a little bit. Um, Even things, small things like, oh, maybe I need a logo, maybe I need a small video. Now we have powerful artificial intelligence softwares that are actually free. All you have to do is tell them what you do. Like this logo we're seeing in the middle here, we could simply just say, well, okay, I need a rooted logo. This is my inspiration, and it'll do it for you. That's how far we're going with digital innovation. So don't be scared of the idea of going digital. Everybody just thinks it's lines of code and you're going to be debugging and it's going to be all nerdy, and you think it's just for pure software guys. Nope. The way that systems are working these days, they're designed to make everything easy for everyone. So if you have those sort of aspirations, let's take it digital. From a Malawian perspective, I always say it's a green field full of ideas that you can cultivate and harvest. There's so many of them. There's so many things you can do in Malawi in the digital landscape. So, I mean, right now, as a country, we're saying that we're in a position where we don't have forex. We're struggling with bringing forex in Malawi, and yet we have all these resources in here that we can take out, right? Like, for example, I'm telling you about the hospital system. There are countries out there that need these services, right, on a digital level. We can always give them access. There's so many companies here, like even banks, they take money and go and pay Kenyans, Egyptians, people from Zimbabwe to sell us back software and systems, right? When we have the capability to do the same. So it's the time now as Malarians for us to pursue digital innovation at a very aggressive level, right? We should stop making and grouping everyone else in such a term that, oh no, people aren't ready for this, Malawi are far away, this. People are ready. People have been using American digital innovations for years. We just need to get them channeled with the Malawian one. So yeah, that's pretty much my advice on that angle. I don't know if I'm allowed to take questions.
Oh, yes, yes, you are allowed to take questions. Are you done? Are you still going on?
Yeah, I'm interested to hear any questions that might be around right now.
Okay. All right. Yes, I can open the floor. Does anyone have any questions? If you do, please raise your hand. Please raise your hand. If there are any questions? Any questions? Going once, going twice. Okay, I have several questions. So I think you've touched on a lot. I think thank you so much for everything you've shared. I think you've shared so much insight and so much just so much insight in the relation of the importance, as you've even put it, the world is going digital. Even the fact that we are having this Zoom call the way we're having it now, that would not have been possible several years ago. Now on this call you have several people who are, let's say, coming from, who are in different industries. Some are perhaps in retail, some are perhaps in beauty, some are perhaps in IT. But also on this call I can see we have people from South Africa, Malawi. I see someone that's also perhaps here from Zimbabwe. So when it comes to going digital, right, we hear the term going digital. Where do you say someone should start? Someone, let's say, who's not that tech savvy, they have a business and they have a business idea, and you tell them go digital. Where do you say, like ground level, where do you say, if you say go digital, what is the essentials or what is the bare minimum of going digital? Yeah,
That,
what would you?
that that's a great question. Actually, um, I did forget to mention one aspect of my digital portfolio. We have so many people who are doing business, right? Um, and they're frustrated. They're all sharing one frustration. How do I keep up with my business? How do I know what's happening in my business? How do I know how much money I'm making? How do I know how my products are moving? Basically statistics, right? The I think the foundation for going digital of everyone's business is finances and statistics. You want to know what's happening in your business. You want to be able to keep up with the finances of your business. So actually, we did develop a software that helps business people with that in such a way that, let's say, you're running a simple business of you're selling shoes, right? Um, if you wanted to go digital, more likely is that you want a way for you to easily market your products to your customers. They want you to be able to easily, because as an owner, normally you're not always in the shop. You have somebody
Mm,
there, but you need trust, right? You need to be able to know that, oh, okay, as of today, we made so amount of money. As of today, this is our current product stock. So I feel like if you're going to start going digital, the foundation of it is you want to know what's happening in your business and how best you can efficiently run it using technology, right? So with our software, what it does is it will tell you every single time your shopkeeper makes a sale. Like, oh, you just made 500 kwacha. If somebody is in South Africa, then let's put it in rands. You just made 500 rands. Somebody who is in the US, or you just made $500, right? And then at the end of the day, they give you a summary of everything that's happened in your shop. This is how much expenses your shopkeeper has made, how much sales your shopkeeper has made. In terms of popular products, your customers really seem to like this particular product. So for
mm,
that, it's giving you insights to prevent you from reordering things that people aren't really interested in, right? Because normally as business owners, uh, you normally bring in things that you think people will be interested in, not that your customers have specifically said that this is what we like. So trends and stats like that, those are the things that might help you in your business. So yeah, if you're at the point ground zero where you want to start and you think it won't be too hard, too technical, the very first part is okay, I need stats and I need to know what's going on with my money. So at that point, then you can reach out to people like us because I feel like every single where you are, there's going to be companies like ours. If you're not in Malawi, there's like in South Africa, you can always reach out to a digital innovations expert and say, well, I need to be able to keep up with my business. How do I take it from there? Previously, we used to have values of, well, I need a website, but now, honest to God, is that websites aren't as effective anymore, right? People don't really go on their phone and type www dot something to go check out your products. Everyone's going to mobile apps, right? So um, on that aspect as well, if you're trying to go digital, it's really about you trying to market your products better. You're trying to keep up with your statistics and trends, and you're trying to keep up with your finances. So I think that's the best place to start.
okay, awesome. Wow. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm going to, yeah, open the floor again. Is there anyone with a question? If you can please raise your hand. Raise your hand. Any question, if you have a tech or digital question, the tech guru is in this space right now, and this is the opportune time to ask some really good questions. Once again, I think people are quite shy, perhaps today, going once, going twice. All right, I have another question, and that question would be, you said something interesting that, oftentimes people can be in a rush to, you were telling your own story, and you talked about how, let's say after finishing your studies, you then went to a company where you could then learn. You recommend going to a company which sort of, is in the same industry of the business you want to do, right?
Yes.
Because that's where you gain exposure, or that's where you gain insight.
Mm.
So the question would be, let's say that young person who is so quickly and so eager, who wants to just take off and fly, what is the importance of working or being in an environment where you can learn first before you venture into your own thing? Someone, what is the value of that? But also, how does one know that they're ready? It could be, what's the balance between someone saying, okay, I need to first work for 5 years and then I'll start, or someone saying, okay, maybe 1 year of experience is enough and then I can start doing my own thing. How does one know that they're ready? What's the balance between being too eager to start your own thing without being fully equipped, or versus procrastinating or delaying, saying, okay, I still need more time. I still need more time. So what advice would you give on that?
Like I said, when you're coming from university, right? Um, what's in your mind is pure education, pure technical education of how a software works, how to develop one. But the real world is full of bureaucracy, right? It's full of corporate technical terms. How you, the way you're even looking there with your fine suit and your tie, the way you're wearing it is different to the way a college student would wear it and act in a meeting, right? And act in a boardroom. There's little things that you're gonna need to perfect yourself with before you ever get to a stage where you're like, I need to provide these services. And specifically for digital innovation, normally those projects are usually big, right? You're going to deal with clients who respect a certain type of experience, right? You're not going to be given a project to turn over the traditional processes, let's say of a bank, from paper to digital when you are fresh off school, right? Even if you have the capabilities to do so, you're still going to need a portfolio of a company with a little bit of experience of how you've provided such similar services to SMEs. So my advice is you go to a company, you go and learn how the little things work. How do we write a proposal? How do we communicate about how we do this? How do we write team meaning minutes? How do we deal with that? Right? And while you're in those companies are great. They'll always push you to go and be part of the teams, right? Because you're learning. They'll be like, you know what, as a company, let's say you're working at National Bank, they say, well, right now we have a project to do digital more 626, which is out there, right? They'll be like, we have this project. So you are going to be on this project. So by that, you have the privilege of being on a portfolio. You say, well, you see this National Bank more 626 digital app. I was part of that team. I'm one of the people